Where you watching us from this morning. 111 444 send in those salams, your comments, your feedback, your questions. Be part of the conversation. Switch TV KE on Instagram, Switch TV Kenya on Facebook. Right now, though, how about we talk about insurance and the policies that come with this particular situation? There are many questions, and I'm already seeing some streaming because I mentioned we'll be talking about this on the show. But first things first, let's run the bumper. So on Money Circle this morning, we are talking insurance pitfalls, and having this conversation with us this morning is the National Chairman and CEO Association of Kenya Professional Insurance Agents, Mr. Clifford Ochieng. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You're good this morning? Kuna baridi huko nje? Huko ndani at least it's a bit warm.
Yeah, sure.
But you've been great.
We're good.
I haven't seen you in a couple of years. It's maybe 2018?
Yeah, we met in 2018 to the AIBK conference.
Yes,
yeah.
In Mombasa.
In Mombasa, yeah.
So today we're talking about insurance, and there's so many things that people don't understand. Sometimes they don't get into it because how insurance works, what it's here to do for me. Then there are also other stories and myths that have been spread around concerning insurance. So kabla uingie, mwenyewe unaogopa. So how does insurance work generally?
First of all, to introduce myself as Clifford Ochieng, the chairman of the Association of Kenya Professional Insurance Agents. I know everybody, or some people have met insurance agents out there.
Yes.
When they're going to sell the policies or advising them on the policies.
Sometimes you don't even know where they got your number. Yeah. But they will just call you and drop you a text, even DM you nowadays.
Yeah. Insurance agents, salespeople are always wamechangamka.
Yes.
So just like when you want something, you have to go for it. Insurance salespeople, insurance is a people business, and when you're in a people business, you have to be on your toes.
That's true.
So you always get an opportunity. Most of them you'll find like even going to the reception to get the contacts of the people who have just got in, but not in a bad way, but the intention of advising them or educating them on what insurance does.
Okay.
Generally, insurance is wide. There are several classes. There are different classes of insurance.
Okay.
We have life insurance that is long term. We have short-term insurance, that is the motor and the medical covers. I think the most popular being the motor and the medical. Motor being compulsory. Yeah, that you must have a motor insurance because without having it is against the law.
Yes.
So insurance generally is one of the is an industry that touches on the entire sectors of the economy. If you start from the farms, agriculture insurance, up to death, funeral expense.
Yes.
So from the time you're born, education policy, medical insurance, savings plans and investments when you are still growing, and when you're going to so insurance generally is wide, and it touches on different aspects of our daily lives, day-to-day lives. Yeah.
All right. So how does it work? For anybody who's not gotten into it, we have a very young audience as well that is eager to learn. How does insurance work?
First, insurance is pooling of risks, whereby a huge population. Insurance is about probability, pooling of risks together to for the fortunate few to cater for the unfortunate many, or the other way around, where the fortunate few to cater for the unfortunate many. Because at one instant, not everyone in the pool will get an accident. So it's the ones that have paid that takes care of the ones that were maybe got an accident or were to be compensated. Yeah.
Okay. And it's interesting that you mentioned that, because it's in the same way that some people will say that I have been in this part or I've paid for this insurance, but I'm not being taken care of. Or there's a struggle between the insurer and yourself, trying to just understand why sijasaidika hivi na nilikuwa nataka kusaidika hivi, kwa sababu mliniambia nikilipa na mimi nimekuwa nikilipa ningekuwa nimesaidika. So at what points would you say huwezi saidika if you don't do what is required of you for you to be able to get the benefits of insurance policies?
I think the first step to getting insurance is understanding what you want.
Yes.
Or getting information from the agent. First of all is shopping around. What is it, the type of insurance that I need? And this one has to come on the other way around. Because one of the things we do as agents is to advise the customers. The customer will come because there are different needs, different insurance for different needs. First is identify the needs, the needs that you want to cater for. Yeah.
So when you identify that, then what next? So I've identified maybe I just bought a car, or maybe there's I have children, they will need to go to school or medical. What happens next?
First of all is to do your due diligence. You have to know that is this product that I'm being told about, is it true? Is it really there? The insurance company, what some of the products that they offer? Where is the physical location? Where do I get them in case of this and that and that? And then again, the agents, the insurance agents are about 10,000 with about 300 brokers, insurance brokers and insurance brokers, about 300 of them. And if you look at the entire industry, there are 56 underwriters offering different classes of insurance. So before you sign in, first of all is to understand the T and C's of insurance, because most of the time you'll find like every industry and every sector, we have crooks. There are people who have interest in getting the profit out of the customer interest. So we always look at the customer. Do you trust this person in the first place? The product did you do your due diligence? Have you checked over and beyond just what is being presented to you? So the first step is to understand, and also check on the authenticity of the product that you're being told about. Yeah.
Is there like a governing board or a council to just make sure that insurers are also, sort of like controlled? Because wamesema kuna wengine crooks. Kuna hiyo governing body yenye inaangalia, do not msinyanyase mtu hivi. Ama if you found that you are one of the crook, that there's disciplinary measures that will be taken on you for taking advantage of a poor mwananchi kama mimi.
I think the industry is regulated by the Insurance Regulatory Authority, and everybody who works in the insurance industry has to be licensed. The insurance agents, the 10,000 of them, are registered and licensed by the IRA. Before you start the selling process or you work with any underwriter, the AKI is the Association of Kenyan Insurers, is an umbrella body of insurance companies, and I think they have their code of ethics, code of conduct, and they have their mode of operations. We have the Association of Kenya Professional Insurance Agents. Our vision is to inspire the consumer confidence and create value to members through advocacy for better opportunities. That's the mission. So if we create value to our members, one of the things that we do, and I think we have to say IRA has done enough, is continuous trainings. And even today, as we talk, AKI is training other agents on the principles of insurance, and the continuous training is what is going to change the entire industry. So as an association, we have our code of conduct, and professionalism is the key word in the association that we run.
Okay. Interesting conversation happening this morning on insurance and the pitfalls that come with insurance. If you have any question, this is the platform for you to ask those questions. 111 444 111. It's just going to cost you a shilling, so go right ahead and do that. And Switch TV KE, that is our Instagram page, Switch TV Kenya, on Facebook as well. We'll be answering all your questions after this short commercial break. A very good morning to you and welcome back to Full Circle with Mwikali. Looking at your feedback this morning, I see Wamboi Edna on Facebook. As I'm tuned in, good morning, loving the show. Mwesh Kioko, good morning, Wix. Margaret Mulo Mwenyewe, good morning, Wix, tuned in from Makueni. Good morning, sweetie. Eldoret, tuned in. Love you, Mwikali. That is Monica Njoroge. Good morning. All the way from Chuka, we have Head Boy Soldier. Thank you so much for tuning into the show. And Beide Asley says, I'm in the show. We're talking matters insurance. So if you have any questions on insurance, please send them to 111 444 111. We'll be looking at the questions in just a bit. Right now, though, Clifford, motor vehicle insurance is one of the sectors we have so many cases, and so many people will say, I got burnt. Nililipa sijasaidiwa. And I also have a personal case, which maybe I will use as an example to just form a question. I had an accident a couple of years ago, I think 2018. And later, my insurance took care of me. My car was fixed, and I assumed that they've taken care of the other person. But years later, I'm contacted by a lawyer, and the lawyer says, your insurance is not paying Nani. And Nani is pushing because they need their money. And I'm like, so see, you talk to insurance, why are you talking to me? See, me, I've paid insurance to talk to. The insurance are saying that, so it even shows me an email correspondence where my insurance is saying, was saying that they tried to tell me to pay some certain amount of money, which they haven't told me. So I contact my insurance and I'm told, pay 7,500. I think that is excess or something. So I pay that. But then, even after that, they don't go ahead to pay off the other client on the other side. So eventually when I'm contacted by a lawyer and taken to court, then I will be pushed to pay the amount of money. Why that? Why does it, what do I need to know as a kawaida mwananchi who's trying to just live my life and I've trusted insurance to take care of my business?
I think one of the things you have to check when getting into the insurance is the terms and conditions.
Okay.
Because we have, on motor insurance, we have 3 types here.
Okay.
We have the third party, the TPO, that is the minimum that is required for anybody. That's the lowest that anybody can have.
That is the third party.
Then we have the comprehensive, when they had third party fire and theft, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you look at it, generally the third party is to take care of the other car. In case of an accident, maybe you have a way of taking care of your car. You are so sure that in case of an accident, the insurance will just pay the third party or the injuries and everything else. So if you have a comprehensive cover with the excess and everything else, that one I think is on the onset of the cover. That's one of the things. But most of the time we go for the cheapest because what gives you more benefits is a comprehensive insurance. Once you have, and by the time you are getting your agent or the broker to explain to you these things, they will be explaining to you this and this and this. Most of the time we buy premium, not the risk or the cover that the cover per se, because the benefit comes with the extra costs.
Okay.
So most of the customers don't want the extra cost. But now sometimes you find like an agent or a broker has already told you that this is what is going to give you in case of this and that. And you know insurance is funny.
Yes.
That you can be paying for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. Then one day you don't pay it for a week, then you get an accident.
And that's when. That's when it happens.
Yeah, so now, you know, when most of the time you'll feel like you'll be trying to, most of the customers or even they will be trying to look for a way of how does the insurance not help me now?
Yes.
But insurance is a 24-hour cover. So when you have it, you will make sure that, I think it's a government policy that you must have insurance 24/7.
Yes.
So if you're so sure about yourself, the TPO, and then or if you can take a third party insurance to take care of the other road users or the car, order the cars and repairs and everything else, good for you. But I would prefer that if you are able to, you can always get all the benefits that come with the comprehensive insurance for your car. That gives you the comfort. And I think one thing that people forget, that most people insure their cars and they forget themselves. So I do believe that once I just, my advice to the public is that before you insure that car, the car will be repaired. But what about you as the person? Do you have a personal accident cover? Do you have anything that, because if you get an accident and then the car, if you get an accident, the car is written off, you're given another car, you are in hospital, you can't be able to take care of yourself and everything else. So the car will have been insured, you are there sitting and you can't drive. So I always advise people to always on top of the normal cover for the car, motor insurance, they should have a riding cover on the same to you as the person who pays for the car. Value yourself, the car will be paid for, but who will pay for you?
For you.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's very important, and thank you for putting it out there. Now that we are here, let's talk about claims. And sometimes they take so long. What is the process for that? Is there a way, is there a standard time to know that nikieka claim is in a need to take this long? Ama, it depends with the processing of that particular incident.
I think claims is a huge subject in the insurance industry. And then there is there are payable claims and then there are unpayable claims. So sometimes you have to, first of all, the first thing you have to do is to do the procedures. Just have to go to report. You have to have an abstract. You have to start from the beginning. You have to fill all the forms and notify the police or the insurance agent or a broker or insurance company. I think you have seen that do not admit liability. In case of an accident, call your underwriter. And that's some of the things that we always face as insurance agents. Somebody is calling you past midnight that I got an accident, and you have to deal with that case. The first thing, you have to wake up in the morning, go to the police and get an abstract that you got an accident. Then get all the valid documents and file it with the insurance company. You have to fill it yourself.
Okay.
You have to take through the processes. And then, you know, the first thing first, you have to have a valid driving license for the claim to be accepted. Because you driving without a valid driving license or an insurance or everything else, that you'll be driving against the law. So a claim might be rejected on the grounds that you didn't have a valid driving license. So that is the first step.
Yes.
And then you have to contact the broker or the agent to help you in the process of filing in this, so that you don't make a mistake. Yeah, well, they told you that you don't have to admit liability.
Yes.
I think there's a way that underwriters and agents speak that can help you as a customer to get your claim.
And when we talk about policy cancellations, what happens? What causes this to happen?
I think now that you understand that now all the insurance is digital. That once you get a motor vehicle, you can't, as long as you can't transfer insurance. Insurance is not transferable. So the first thing most people don't understand is the terms and condition. And I'd be honest with the public and tell them that one of the things you have to do first is to read the terms and conditions. And also, be honest. This principle of utmost good faith. Insurance are in business. The principle of indemnity. You have to understand these points. They are in the business of paying claims, and also they are in the business of making money. So when you are on the right and claims are payable, they will be paid. When you are not on the wrong, you know, there's a time that insurance sometimes has been seen as, yet we are not angels, yes. We have our skeletons in the closet.
Yes.
But there are times that we just advise somebody that you just follow what is right. Do the necessary, do the basics, and then the claim will be paid if it's payable. Only payable claims are payable.
So what is unpayable claims? What are those claims that are unpayable?
First things first is you have to be within the law. Let me say, for example, you know, it's if you as a person, you committed a crime and then you are shot dead in a bank robbery and you had a life policy, you are shot dead in that scenario, committing a crime. When when a claim arises when you are committing a crime, that's an illegality.
Yes.
Yes. So if the unpayable claims also comes in the form of fraud, whereby there are several channels used. There are different service providers used. There are assessors, there are investigators, and all that channel. And then they come to give a report to the insurance company. Then the insurance company will make a decision based on all this and say that this is payable, this is unpayable. Because, you know, insurance industry has also its fair share of fraudulent activities, and it's not only the inside, but sometimes even the clients come with the falsified claims.
That's true.
Yeah, and then the falsified claims, when detected, there is an insurance fraud investigation unit that takes over the charge if it's internal or external. If there was a fraud that was being committed, the insurance regulatory authority as an investigative department from the DCI, known as the Insurance Fraud Investigation Unit. If they found that the fraud was committed or there was an intention of committing a crime, a fraud, then most probably it's not payable, and the culprits will most probably, if it's a staff that was involved, they will most probably be taken action. The action will be taken against them. And if it's the client, even the clients, sometimes clients come with the claims that are not there. You remember the story of that guy who killed the nephew? Yes. Because of claims, and and it's a story that's what's in the media. Yes. But there are others that don't appear in the media. So you have to look at it keenly, because it's affecting even Mwikali, who now has a genuine claim, but because it will have to take Mwikali to the process, and Mwikali will be told, kindly give me your ID and some of the documents that you have to prove that you are Mwikali. Then you'll go there with, like, when you are selling me insurance, you didn't ask me, you have my details. So the emotions overpowers the reasoning. So by the time you get out there, and this one is not on the clients alone, this is also to be blamed on the claims process, which sometimes takes a long time. And I think if you liaise with the regulator, and several claims have been paid, when the client reported to the regulator, the payable claims were paid.
So say, for example, let's create a scenario where you have comprehensive insurance for your motor vehicle, and you get into an accident that leads to death. How is that case handled? how does the insurance then, is there, what is the process generally for that?
I think
so. You're on comprehensive
yeah.
as the person who is driving this car, and you've done everything legally, like your insurance is up to date, your driving license is up to date, but then there's an accident.
I think the terms and conditions of the comprehensive insurance will apply, because most probably nobody plans to go and
no,
die
you don't,
unless there's a case of anything else, but that is treated differently by different underwriters. Yeah.
Kuna mtu anauliza hapa, Mr. Ochieng, loving the show. Ask Mr. Ochieng how an insurance agent can be able to get clients during this COVID period.
Thanks for that question. I do believe that one of the things is insurance, just like we started, is a relationship business.
Yes.
And is a trust business. There is nowhere it's written in the face of somebody that you're an insurance agent. The clients is, first of all, is to look into your circles. How many numbers do you have in your phone? How many people are close to you? The relatives. And how often do you interact with them? You don't have to go face to face, because most people have changed the mode of operation, and you have to accept that COVID is here with us, and you have to work with the condition that is set for us.
Yes.
It's not going, there's nothing like post-COVID, and I think most people are waiting for post-COVID.
Yeah.
There is no post-COVID. The COVID season is here with us. We have just to adjust. Yeah, it's a new normal. So we have to adjust. And when you go out there, just check on your phone the telephone numbers, the contacts that you have. Are they really worthy? If they're not worthy, you can delete them and start afresh. Somebody like Mikali here, you can just text. Mikali is a potential client. You can always get contact, and everywhere you meet and everybody you meet is always a potential client. It depends on how you present yourself, how well you understand the products. Just being an insurance agent is not enough. But how well do you understand your industry? How well are you going to convince Mikali that insurance is actually is not a necessity, but it's something that we need. But it's a need that is to be created. Yeah. When I come to Mikali, I'll have to express myself. What product do I want to sell to Mikali? Or I want Mikali to promote me, to which it's not sustainable in the long run. But you have to just be a professional, have to understand your industry well, understand the products, and be honest and trustworthy in whatever you do.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have a question here. Says, good morning, Mikali. Kindly ask him, what does it take for one to be an insurance agent? I think this is the sales and our agents when you want to ongelesha sisi tuingie insurance.
There's one thing that, first of all, the minimum qualification for being an insurance agent is you have to have a certificate of proficiency from the College of Insurance.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The College of Insurance will, and then you'll be taken through the processes. You might identify an underwriter. We have 1 year provisional license provided by the Association of Kenyan Insurers, because all insurance companies belong to all insurance companies are members of the Association of Kenyan Insurers, and agents, according to the law, are agents of the company, of the underwriters. They are one thing. So most probably he or she will go through the training in the company first. Then from that point, there is a 1 year grace period. Within the 1 year, they must have the license, which is being provided by. There's an exam that they have to do to be an insurance. The minimum being a certificate of proficiency.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you've gotten the answer right there. Hi, Mikali. Thank you for the topic on insurance. Question for Mr. Ochieng. Is it advisable to take a life insurance cover, and what does it entail? We haven't talked about life insurance, and I think, thank you so much for this question. Maybe we should just delve into that. What is it? What does it pertain? What does it entail? And even how it works. Yeah,
first things first, yeah. Just like I said, insurance is pulling together of risks. When different members of the public or insurance buying public come together and buy the insurance companies pools the risks and then reinvest in the insurance. The insurance makes profit on how it does its business. But for the life person, the life insurance is a wide topic too. There is a whole life, there's a group life, and such kind of stuff. Okay. So when you buy insurance first, you have to look at what is it that you want. Do you just want a policy that will pay over a period of time? There is a long-term, life insurance is a long-term policy.
Yes.
Are you going to wait for the 10 years? Because the risk component is bigger than the contributions and everything that you give. And I think that's where the bone of contention is, that people claim that I paid much more money,
yes,
but I got less.
Yes.
But in insurance, the principle of insurance is always, it's day one you get the cover. The life component kicks on. The moment you get into you sign that the policy, you sign the forms, and then pay the premiums, you are on cover. That is on life insurance. Then, in case of anything happens between the first accident and everything else like that, the insurance company will, in case of accident, death, or disability, the insurance takes care of that responsibility.
Okay.
Then you waive the premium. So it means that you won't pay the premium for the rest of until the rest of your life. There's a partial waiver and there's a waiver there's a permanent waiver. So in case that an accident leads to a disability, and the disability or it leads to death, the company will waive the premium if you took that rider of disability, or death is automatic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or accident that might occur within the period, there's no waiting period.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi Wix, I'm Puri from Isili. Ask him, NHIF being a health insurance, what are some of the causes that can make claims unpayable?
I think there are two questions there, because there is NHIF and then there is unpayable claims. Yeah. On the insurance part, NHIF, as you know, is a government scheme.
Yes.
And most of the employees and workers of the government and even individuals now are being co-opted in such. So NHIF is important for somebody to have it, because you never know what might happen. And if just for a common mwananchi, that's the bare minimum. Everybody, and that's my advocacy, that everybody should have that NHIF. Then coming to unpayable claims, I don't know if they were touched, but there are two questions there. Unpayable claims are just like I mentioned before. If you have a claim and the insurer believes or thinks that there is a fraud involved, or if you don't give proper documentation, the company can decide to not pay you, but they will ask you for the details. If you are asked, you must. Insurance is a straight line thinking, whereby if you are asked to give your ID, this date of birth and everything else, just give them as they are.
Okay.
Any mistake, just like any other business or any other organization, that's it. Yeah. So you have to be, you have to give all the documentation required. You have to fill all the forms. And if you don't fill any, that let me say, like I put it earlier, if I think this is the point that most people don't understand, even when there's a debate that was going around about the curfew time and the insurance.
Did you see that thing? Is it true?
I'll come to that. Yeah. So it's in the policy documents that any claim that occurs when there's a crime was being committed, or if there is an illegality, then it means that it's unpayable. Okay. So you have to adhere to the rules. You know, like I told you, a claim for a motor claim without when you are driving and you have a claim and you don't have a valid driving license, then it invalidates the claim.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So it is true. Whatever we've been seeing making rounds on social media, that if you are caught or if you're in an accident after 8 p.m. and the curfew is at 8, then that will not be taken care of.
That question is controversial, and I'm still waiting for the response from the regulator and ACI.
But you've seen the...
Actually, it came from us.
Okay.
So what we did was just a cautionary statement to the public, because I think based on assumptions or something like that, I think it touched base with the members, but it was it touched base on the public. It was a public debate. Okay. And then what remained was just a cautionary statement telling the clients that curfew is a government policy. Yes. And this curfew is being implemented by police. So if you are not an essential service provider, you don't have valid documentation to travel at night, you don't you're not in a certain emergency. Emergency can be quoted differently in a court of law. Yes. Because there are different kinds of emergencies. So after curfew, in the event of an accident, just to clarify to the public, the government has given its timelines for the curfew. What if you got an accident at 2 a.m.? Because we know there are people who run around during the night just to disobey the curfew. When there's a conflict between the law of the land and regulations, the law of the land takes precedence. That's true. And the insurers are operating under the law. IRA is part of the government. And I think it's also to caution members of the public to be adhering to the laws of the land when the curfew was done. So it means that I know it's got so many people wrong and they blame the writers. And also we are telling our clients, please don't engage in such.
It's better to be safe
than sorry.
Yes. And that is the message.
That was the message.
That is the message. Yeah. And, you know, our time is up, Mr. Ocheng, but is there a limit to the age in terms of getting health insurance? And in like a minute before we go, I can already hear us being kicked out.
The legal age is 18 years. Anybody above 18 years is eligible for any insurance.
And do we have a limit on a cap on the other side?
It depends on the underwriters. There's several that it depends on the different insurance companies.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. How can people get in touch with you or send in more questions directly to the association?
Just the info at acpia.co.ke.
Okay.
And I don't know if I could give my number.
Please.
My number is 0101 524 335.
Just say that again.
0101
yes
524 335.
Asante sana kwa kuja. And thank you for educating us. Tumesoma wengi. And thank you for sending in your questions as well. We're taking a very short commercial break. We will be right back. This is Full Circle with Mwikali.